What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at another CT Toys figure. And this one's kind of cool because if y'all remember, several months ago I actually posted a video of the brown suit CT Toys Wolverine, and I swapped some parts with the Weapon of Vengeance Marvel Legends to make this Hellverine essentially. But now CT Toys has gone and made their own version, so we're going to check this figure out, see what it comes with, see if it holds up to the reputation that CT Toys has so far. And they've been making great, despite being bootlegs or knockoff figures, they've been making great figures. And this one comes with some cool accessories. So I can't wait to jump into this, open it up, take a look at previous CT Toys Wolverines, and see how it stacks up. But let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so here's this guy out of the package, and so far, with me just kind of playing around with him, he seems very sturdy. You even hear the squeakiness of the joints, which, might sound a little annoying, but I prefer that because it's, those joints are nice and tight, not loose at all. Legs and everything feels really good. Feels like what I've come to expect so far with CT Toys. Figures that right out of the packaging, for the most part, feel like an authentic, $60 figure, but they're a third of the price. So that is good to know that this one feels the same coming out of the box. And I have one of my other brown suit Wolverines, and if we pull them in, they are definitely on the same body. The only difference, really, feel like the paint on this one, I don't know if that's my copy, just seems a little bit more faded on the brown compared to this one, but they're definitely both the same figure. And one of the reasons I wanted to get this guy, because on this copy of my brown suit Wolverine, I actually broke the peg with these very thin wrist pegs. So just be cautious with these type of figures that have these very thin wrist pegs, not to snap them, because that's what I did now. We're bandaged together there. But I wanted to be able to just have like one brown suit body I could swap all the different CT Toys heads with, all the different hands, and have like one deluxe figure. And then one of the obvious visual differences besides the head is a different belt, which is accurate to the Spirit of Vengeance Hellverine look. So as far as I can tell, exact same figure, but both of these figures do feel really good in hand. Now with this guy, we need to take a closer look at that head sculpt. This is one of the two head sculpts, and this one's really good. It is very brightly, very nicely chrome painted silver for the skull, and then this translucent plastic that's very much orange, that kind of at the very edge of it gets a little bit red, but it is mostly an orange translucent package. Now, the custom one I made using the Marvel Legend parts, I can't compare to because I sold that. Sold that on my Mercari page. Of course, if y'all are ever interested, I'm always selling stuff on there, so the link to that's in the description below. But I don't have that to have in hand to compare. But just by viewing some photos, one of the differences between the two heads was I like the fact that the Marvel Legends one had a gritting teeth. Well, this one does have gritting teeth. I will say the way that they painted the gritting teeth white on the Marvel Legends compared to just all silver on this. This just kind of all blends together. I like how the Marvel Legends did theirs. So, I don't know, that might be something to try out, just to add a little, white paint to make it stand out a little bit more. But, the head sculpts are, based on the same art. So they're similar, but this one definitely does have a nice shininess and the translucent plastic. Now the alternate head, I think I like even more. So this head, the mouth is open and the flames are coming out of the side of the mouth. That is a really cool head sculpt. And even more, it seems like you get a little bit more coming out of the eyes as well. So that's a very cool head sculpt. I will say this one seems to be just a hair bit more orange, because now I'm starting to see the more yellow in this one. This one is that the plastic seems to be more orange, or at least like where there's more flames and more of the plastic is bunched together. That's where the darkness of the color comes in. But two fantastic head sculpts. But this guy right now doesn't have any claws on. We got to swap on the flame claws to really get the full effect for this guy. All right, so this is this guy's first set of flaming claws. And now I say set. It's kind of interesting. All the different claws actually are a unique sculpt. So they don't match up one to one, which I think that's kind of a cool thing. Now I wish there was like one extra set of, or a whole other set of claws where we can get like the exact one, so you can swap from left and right. But these are kind of the more, I would say these are the more default ones, less actiony ones. They have a flame going all the way up, and then you get a little, just like little bit of a flame coming off of them. This one, the flame kind of comes off to the side. So I feel like in a resting position, maybe like it just down by a side, these are gonna be, the flame just kind of, like, I feel like you need to have this one at a right angle where the fire is like coming up like that. But that's these first two hands, and let's put them right here in front. Yeah, these translucent plastic on these, I feel like, at least I feel like comparing back to the Marvel Legends, the Marvel Legends ones were definitely a little bit more yellow. I feel like these are definitely, it's yellow right here, but it gets really orange up here. I feel like the Marvel Legends ones were, more yellow than orange, but I think they both look good, kind of depending on how the light hits them. And the Marvel Legends one, I kind of liked how, I wish there was an option of those type claws where it was just basically the blade with a little bit of flame, and then there was just like a little bit of flame coming off the edge of it, coming the opposite direction. So maybe if I ever pick up another Marvel Legends one, I'd be able to swap those onto here if I wanted to, but I think these are really cool. Now the next ones are probably even more dramatic and action oriented than these. Now these hands, I feel like, are the ones that are intended to be the most action oriented, because we have this big trailing flame coming off of them, and I feel like standing like this is not necessarily how they're intended. I feel like this is one where like you got like your arm coming across, and it's supposed to look like you're going from like left to right here, just like. I feel like that's what these flames are intended for, and these are just, they're got a lot of, like, from all the way to there, that's a lot of space to take up with plastic. But these do look really cool, and I feel like these are the kind you can have a lot of fun with your posing, with your photography. They'll definitely be able to add some motion to whatever you're trying to capture with the look. But that's these hands, and I'm kind of torn between the two. I don't know if I like the ones that have just a little flame kind of coming off the edge of them, or I like these this big motion like swiping kind of ones, because like the Marvel Legends, like you had the claws like this, and then you just had like one little flame piece coming off here. It wasn't a big trailing tail. I kind of wish there was a third option that was more like that, but either way, both of these are really good. The hands and the claws seem to be two separate pieces. That's why you can have the brown hands and then the claws with this translucent plastic. And there's silver for the little part of his glove too that's in there underneath all of that. So these are really well done with the translucent plastic. So I'm very happy with the way it looks. These are very extreme looking. So I think that's really cool. But now that we've taken a look at like the Hellverine accessories, there's actually some other accessories that come with this, and it's the boring accessories that come with it is he does have two just relaxed hands, but he also comes with curved claw hands that are blue. Now you'd be like, wait, that doesn't really work with this with this guy, but that's because the Tiger Stripe Wolverine has these just like these straight out claws, long straight out claws. And a lot of people, I mean, that's how the original Mafex figure was. And, you know, a lot of people were like, man, but I like the claws that come on the brown suit. It's got these, you know, curved claws that look really good. Well, now, if you buy this figure, they throw in the curved claws for your Tiger Stripe Wolverine. So I think that is a really cool little thing, a little incentive to buy this figure. But that's basically everything this figure comes with, and I think he looks really good. But let's kind of see how he looks against some other figures, especially CT Toys and Wolverine figures. So here's CT Toys Hellverine sized up with the brown suit and Tiger Stripe CT Toys. And as you can see, the same body all the way around. I will say this guy's got seems like a slightly smaller skull than these two guys, but of course, I mean, that's a full head with a mask on, where this is bare bone with flames coming out. So he looks maybe just a little bit smaller in the cranium compared to those guys, but same size bodies. Looks like the yellows are the exact same as far as I can tell on all three figures, which means if you want to, you should be able to take any of the other CT Toys heads and pop it on, and there we go. This one's got a little warpage there. I need to do better at storing my figures. But yeah, you can basically put on any of the other heads, and there we go. Because with all these Mafex clones, it's a very tiny little peg with there's this little plastic cap on the inside that you can plug in to make these work. Now, I've done some other videos where of course, I think it was in that original custom Hellverine video, I showed that you can heat these heads up to remove that little plastic cap on the inside, and that's how you can convert any of these heads for Marvel Legends. So if you really like your Marvel Legends Hellverine, but you want maybe this alternate head too, you can get this figure and pop that little plastic cap out and fit it on your Marvel Legends. Well, speaking of Marvel Legends, let's go ahead, we'll clear these guys out, and let's kind of show them up against some Marvel Legend Wolverine bodies. All right, so here's the Marvel Legends, and this is the Marvel Legends Hellverine that I used to make that original CT Toys custom, and I was able to kit batch this together. So I got, even though the yellows don't match with the mask, got the CT Toys head on there by taking that little plastic cap out, and then I swapped out the wrist joints to have the CT Toys claws in there as well. I'm actually selling a very similar figure on my Mercari page if y'all are interested in that. But this is how he stacks up against Marvel Legends, and I think one of the things that people like the most about these CT Toys figures is that they have been fitting in very well with Marvel Legends, since they're, you know, in the same price range. You know, and it kind of comes down to preference on what body style you like. The Marvel Legends, I'd say, are a little bit more thicker. The CT Toys a little more leaner, but they nailed the height and, for the most part, the proportions of Wolverine. So it comes down to personal preference. But here's this kit bashed brown suit and the X-Men 97 Tiger Stripe Wolverines, and that's how he compares to those. Now, I do have two CT Toys Spider-Man I want to pull out so we can see those as well. All right, here's how he compares to the CT Toys Ben Reilly Spider-Man and the Peter Parker Spider-Man, which is based off the Mafex 143 and the Mafex 185. Now, these guys are smaller than their Mafex counterparts, so keep that in mind. But kind of within the realm of CT Toys, if that's all you're kind of combining your collection with, they look pretty good together. Now, I will say this makes Wolverine a little taller compared to these guys, because these guys end up being a little shorter than they're supposed to be. But I think, you know, that works out pretty well if that's the direction you want to go. So that's always an option when you're on AliExpress. You can get you some Spider-Man and you can get you a Hellverine. So I'm going to try something new as I give you my final thoughts. I'm just going to kind of walk through his articulation, because it is what you would expect from the CT Toys figures. But it is a pretty solid figure all the way around. I think this was a cool idea for them to do, since this is a figure that technically Mafex hasn't given us. We have this guy now, and they did a good job with the flame effects, the skull and the claws with the translucent paint, and you know, I'm very pleased with this. I mean, it really, I didn't really need this figure. It wasn't one that was like a top priority, but when they said they were doing it, I was like, you know what? I kind of do want this figure. I feel like this is a solid release from CT Toys, and I'm excited to see what else they kind of come up with, especially when they're kind of doing some new things. You know, they released like, you know, one of the reasons I got the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, because they had that bonus PS5 head sculpt in there, and then with this you get the flame effects, and you get the those extra hands for the tiger stripe Wolverine. I think this is a pretty cool strategy to have these bonus items, and I'm just very pleased with this figure. It does everything you want it to do. I think it's a cool display piece on the shelf, and I'm excited to kind of maybe play around with other kit bashes and stuff with these figures, because that's, you know, one of the bonuses of getting these at a $20 price point is there's a little bit of freedom to play around with them, unlike, you know, a figure that's going to cost you $75, $80, $90, $100 coming from overseas. So my final thoughts is this is a solid release. If you're interested in this, you can get it off AliExpress. The store I got them from, I believe, is the official CT Toys storefront, or at least the official seller for them. It's called Funly Toy Store. They have great reviews, and I hadn't had any issues with them. Products have been on point. And apparently there's been knockoffs of these knockoff figures, so we got to kind of watch out for that. But anyway, guys, I want to know what you think about our CT Toys Weapon X, or Weapon of Vengeance Hellverine figure. I think this is a cool release, has some cool unique parts to it. It's gonna pop on the shelf. It feels good in hand. That's a big thing to me. It feels good. It feels like a solid figure. But I want to know what y'all think about that. I want to hear your comments below. If you're gonna pick it up, if you're not gonna pick it up. I know there's actually some controversy with this figure as well, because I believe someone who 3D sculpted a custom head sculpt said, hey, they modified my file and to make these heads. I don't know if that's true or not, or you know, where the legality of that is when someone's making a head sculpt based off a comic book character that they don't own, and then bootleggers are bootlegging other bootlegger stuff. It's you know, there's a lot of a lot of gray area with that, but I want to hear all y'all's thoughts about that kind of stuff and this figure itself. Once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for liking and commenting, subscribing, doing all that. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for watching these videos and you know, engaging with these videos. And I want you to know that I'm here for you, just like you're here for me. So if you have a prayer request and you know, you just need someone to talk to, leave that in the comments below. I read and respond to all the comments, and I appreciate you guys, and I'll be praying for you if you need it. So guys, thanks once again for checking out my video, and I can't wait for the next video. I don't know if it's gonna be a review video or a custom I've been working on, but either way, I'm excited to share it with you. So guys, until then, see ya.